So I want to ask you, when did you first
Okay.
decide to go vegan and why?
I think the when veganism actually popped into my mind and I was like, I'm gonna be vegan was when I was at work and I saw a TED Talk of a psychologist. Her name is Melanie Joy. And I study psychology, so I'm always big on that. I'm like, there's a reasoning for things, there's a cause and effect, it's like there's logic because we're logical human beings. So when I saw that TED Talk and I studied psychology and she was talking about a topic that I yet was not connected to, it hit me. I couldn't deny it anymore. And she pretty much asked a question like, why do you eat certain animals and you don't eat others? And from that moment, I couldn't answer it because I realized what she did. She made me first realize that every animal is the same, that I view every animal as the same on my own. But, without the cover layer of the other part, I was disconnected. So she helped me make the connection. And ever since then, I no longer could justify it. It was an instant click in my mind
Right.
that I knew at that moment that if I ever ate an animal product again, that was on me now because I already knew the truth.
Now that you know.
Yeah, so that's something, self accountability, that was something that really shifted my perspective.
Wow. And how long ago was that?
That was in about that was in 2016, so a little bit over 3 years ago, probably.
Wow. So
Yeah.
3 years and you've already just have come so far. You're such an activist and you're just so inspiring. It's so crazy. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here. I'm here. I'm
Okay.
here.
Like I follow like James Aspie and Earthlink, that Earthlink guy, and he's been vegan for like 2 years or something, and it's so crazy that like once that click happens and you're just like, wait, you're right. Why am I loving my dog
Yeah.
but eating pig? It's like once you actually connect to all of that, like you're just on one, and you're doing everything so quick, and it doesn't matter if it's been a year or 2 years or 3 years. I've been vegan for almost 5 years. It's going to be 5 years in October, and
Wow.
I'm
That's
still
right.
learning. So
That's right.
I'm constantly learning, and
Yeah.
I still personally want to go more and do more vegan activist work and stuff. So
Yeah.
I really look up to you for
Well,
your.
this is it. This is you doing activism. This is I think this is a great outlet and we should be doing it more often. We should follow each other and do interviews and talk to each other, like to share each other's information, because we all have a different message to share, yet they're so connected. So I think this is a good form of activism. Really good.
That's awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Now, I want to ask you, like, when you first went vegan, like, how was your energy? How's your energy now? Like, do you have more energy, less energy? Do you feel weak, tired? Like, tell me about it.
Uh, for me, I don't think that I noticed a huge, huge difference. As far as like when I went vegan, I wasn't like, oh, I'm dying, like I'm missing stuff. Like I didn't have that. I already ate pretty healthy. I guess you can say I was vegetarian. So I already was pretty conscious of what I ate. I didn't like to eat like fast food all the time. So my diet didn't change that much. I wasn't a big meat eater. So for me, I think it wasn't that much of a change. I think for me in the beginning, if I have to be honest, and I like to tell people this, I was still addicted to certain things.
Right.
So I would lie to myself sometimes. And this was very on going vegan, when you're still kind of like trying to just let go of things that you really like, kind of those things, like
Right.
that's where I was like, but that ended quick. That's the only thing that I struggled with as far as like food. But no, I never got sick. I never experienced anything. My body changed and I feel like now it's where it's supposed to be naturally. It feels really
Right.
good. It's
Exactly.
not about
I'm right
yeah,
there with you right now too.
yeah,
I mean, going vegan, like, you could still gain a lot of weight. You could eat the vegan pizza, the vegan ice
yeah,
cream, the vegan burgers. So right now I'm to that point where I'm just eating, when I'm hungry, I eat so that I won't feel tired. Like I'm really taking care of myself, making smoothies. I do work out, so I'm not overeating. I'm not undereating. So I'm
yeah,
drinking plenty of water. So
yeah,
I'm like I'm there with you right now too.
And you know what? I think it's important for people to know that, like, when you do go vegan and people react a certain way to changing their diets, it's not necessarily a bad thing. Like, your body's gonna go through a shift because you're dramatically changing something, you know?
Yeah.
So, you know, I think just education, education, education.
What
know?
were some of the foods that you missed?
Yeah, I don't even want to admit it.
Because you know it's 2019 and there's
I know
everything now. So there's vegan cheese.
I'm not gonna lie, because of unfortunately my stereotypical growing up, you know, we ate like the hot Cheetos a lot, and I grew up with those things. Like, they were, since like probably when I was a baby, they were probably injecting it in my bloodstream. So I was very addicted to those, you know, and I was so in denial that they were not vegan, because I was like, how am I never going to eat those again? So little stuff like that. I can't think of more, but like more like little addict things like that, you know, because I never liked cheese. I didn't like drinking milk. I already didn't like animal products. They already kind of, if I could avoid them, I would, like, instinctively. I didn't even think about it as an animal. But just little, you know, addictions like that. So.
But now there's like, I'm pretty sure there has to be some type of vegan hot Cheetos, and
but you know what? I think there is, but the cool thing is about, and what I think it's so cool about veganism, and I wish it for every single person, is because I don't even want those things anymore. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. I'm like, ugh, now I'm grossed out. Like, you know, so it shifts everything about you, you know? So, you know, once in a while I find some chips that I like, you know, but even that, like, I go through a phase and you just shift. Your taste buds change, your body changes, your body reacts way better to foods that are actually in alignment with you. So
yeah,
it kind of just happens naturally. It's not even as hard as you think, you know.
What's your favorite dish?
You ready for this?
I'm ready.
I love sandwiches.
Bomb.
Okay, so I saw your face and I thought you were gonna be disappointed, but we're so happy.
No, bomb. Like with carrots.
You can make me a sandwich out of anything, and I fucking love it. It's just like bread and just like loaded up with stuff. I'm happy.
They're legit.
Yeah, and you know, they're like sometimes like a little crunch on the side, maybe some chips or something. But sandwiches, I love sandwiches.
I'll never forget that one time where I was like, "Hey, girl." I like texted you and I was like, "Are you going to this vegan event?" And you're like, "Yeah, meet me here." And I'm like, "Hell yeah!" And
oh, I know. Like, with the playground.
I was like, "Hey, girl, where are you? I'm here." You're like, "I'm near the restrooms," and I went to like where the restrooms were, and I was like, "I don't see you." And then you're like, "I'm right here on the grass," and I'm like, "Where?" And then I like sent you the information where I was at, and I was like all the way in some different city at another event.
We were not in the same place. I wasn't like in this tiny little festival, and you were in this huge festival. It was hilarious.
Yeah, and I went like by myself and everything. So this is gonna lead to like, no, this is gonna lead to the next. I love doing. I'll do anything by myself. I don't mind. But like, this is gonna lead to the next question I want to ask you, because I want to ask you, what do you love about the vegan community? So let me actually like answer first. Let me answer my own question first, since we're already talking about this. Because you know, you could go to any festival, event, vegan community, whatever it is, activist work, the Farmer John Slaughterhouse, pig vigils, by yourself, and you're gonna meet people who are just as passionate about all of it as you are. So that's what I've gained so many friends in the community. You know, even like the celebrity vegans or whatever. Like I've ran into so many people. So it's like, even though like I didn't see you, or I went to a different event because I read the flyer wrong, or I read the wrong one. It's like I was with so many of like my family, and it is like family, because it's like, you know, it's not just like an event where there's music and food and stuff. It's like love and
you're
what's it? Olive Vegan, what's that? But go on, whatever you say.
It's real. You're having like real conversations. You're like actually engaged in a deeper way during these events, so they feel different. Because if we go to an event like that's not vegan, we want to like rip our hairs out. We're like, you know, it's a little bit different just because of the conversations and the connections that you say we make, you know, we're like on the same kind of vibing, you know, so.
Yeah, and
Not only because it's not because we're vegan, it's just because we're actually like talking about it, and then we don't talk about it the whole time. We just kind of have that like awareness around us,
yeah.
and then it feels safe, and then, you know, we can go and have a good time, you know.
Yeah, and like, don't get me wrong, I love to go to, you know, all different types of, you know, K-Rock events, concerts. You know, I have a lot of my friends and family who are not vegan, and I fucking love them, and you know, everybody is accepted in my world and stuff like that. But there is just something different about when you go to an event, a vegan event, you know, Pig Vigil, whatever it is in the vegan community. There's something different about it, and it's a beautiful feeling. So that's why I wanted to ask you, like, what do you love about it? And it's community. That's really what it is. And just talking
It's
about
community, and I think because you know, same as you know, like, I don't want people to think that, you know, we don't have fun with other people who are not in vegan, but it is something special about being honest about what's happening and just acknowledging it and having the truth there and sharing that pain with other people, because this kind of darkness that we carry inside of us, because of the awareness, there is a darkness behind all of it. What's happening to the animals and what's happened to the earth
right now as we speak.
Humanity. Yeah. So I think that's why I enjoy it very much, you know, and it sounds kind of weird because I get to share that with other people. You know what I mean? I think that's what community should be about, not just for the good times, but for the times that are difficult. So that's what and plus to see such courageous people, like, you're like, what? This is what you're doing? And I sometimes I'll step back and I'll look at other people, even if they're having a conversation during outreach. I'm so inspired. I'm like, wow, like, you're talking to someone and I know what you're telling them, and it's fucking awesome, you know, because it's one of the best gifts you can share with someone.
It really is. It really is. Awareness.
Yeah. So yeah, the vegan community and the animal rights community is definitely special.
So why are you a vegan activist? What are some pointers you want to tell people why you are one?
You know what? I've been thinking about this for a long time because I've done activism, but I always feel like I want to evolve and I want to really find the core issue of what's really happening. And I think the most simple way I can put it is like, because it goes against who we are, you know?
Yeah.
And I feel like it's an injustice if people don't know the truth, because most people are making choices right now based on information that we've been told and taught.
Right.
So I think as an activist, if it's not about us, which it shouldn't be about us, we provide the alternative. You know, we provide another way of looking at things.
Right.
And legit ways, and it comes with common sense, and like, it's right in front of your face. We don't need to sell anything. We just need to show the truth for what it is and live it.
There you go.
And I think as an activist, that's why now I do activism, and that's why I'm always looking to just grow, because at the end of the day, it's just about getting the message across, because people can relate. People will listen, you know, and I think yeah, so that's why I do activism. I think it's an injustice for people not to know what's happening around them when they should know, when they have every right to know, when it affects them in a negative way. Like, if you are paying someone else to do very horrible things to an animal and you're not aware of it, how is that okay? You know what I mean? Like, that is an intentional deceivement that is causing a lot of harm. So I think that's wrong, not just for the animal, but for people, for them not to know what's happening.
That's my thing, is like, I know a lot of my family, my friends are not aware. So it's just, you know, I'm not trying to sell anything. Whatever I post, it's, you know, because I'm learning myself. I'm reading these books, and if I'm feeling a certain way about this, like a sad way, a beautiful thing, like feeling beautiful, like, oh my God, people need to know about this. Like, I'm going to want to share it, because I know if I'm not aware of something, that other person might not be aware of it either. So yeah, thank you.
No, yeah.
So what, and this is kind of like a harsh question, and it's going to be a harsh answer, but what's something that really stuck to you where every day when you look at your animals, you think of it? Like you just, like for example, a while ago, one of my friends sent me a video on Instagram, and it was from a Yulin festival where, you know, there's these men in a room and they're like just horribly torturing these dogs. And I'm like, till this day, when I look at my dog, every single day when I look at my dog, I think of that video. And, you know, so what is there something that when you look at your cats or dogs or animals, you think of that, and, you know?
I think the overall that's making my heart beat, and I try not to think about it, is the realization that these animals feel everything we feel. And that's so hard for people to understand. So I often have to disconnect that part of my brain, because if you truly understand that that animal, whatever is happening to them, is hurting them as if it was happening to you, it's not just like the physical pain, but what they're going through mentally. They're like these beings are torturing and killing me in the most horrible way. So I think the realization that they're feeling everything.
Yeah.
You know, people think that they don't think that they're not like us, and they are, you know. And so I think that that's what keeps me focused, because I understand like that they're all feeling their own pain,
Right.
every single one of them, you know. So
Yeah.
so that's because I like, one thing that made me think about that was one time seeing, everyone thinks that the worst thing that you can see is seeing an animal get their throat slit, like, or, you know, or seeing really like blood. But actually what makes me the saddest sometimes is seeing an animal fight for their life,
Yeah.
trying to run the other way, jump, you know. That to me breaks my heart, because they're fighting like we would fight, you know. So
Right.
that wanting to live is pretty fucked up, what we put them through. That fear, you know, that we fear if we were to die, but we don't die. Like, it's that fear, like they fear that until they die. They feel that, and I think that's horrible that we're doing that to them. So I think about
Right.
that, and it keeps me going.
I remember real quick. You know, one night that I went to the pig vigil and you're there, and, you know, they had the projector up, and there was like videos of, you know, pigs and the factory farms and how they're treated, like the actual videos of them, you know, being babies, the mom sitting on them, just everything, you know, puke everywhere, skin and bones. The guys like clenching their, you know, something, their tubes down there. I don't even know. It looked painful and horrible.
It's
like
psychotic.
I said, yeah.
It's psychotic.
What is it exactly?
It's psychotic.
Yeah. Yeah. What are they doing? They're like cutting.
They're cutting their little tails.
Yeah. All of that.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And I just, like, I'm going back to the other question that I asked you. Just seeing that video, and you saw me crying. Like, I remember just being by myself and watching that, like, that scene, and I just started crying, and you just came up to me and started hugging me. And that's another powerful thing about just the vegan community. It's like we all feel the same for these animals, so we're all coming together and feeling the same way and wanting to make a difference and inspire people and help people see what's really going on behind the closed doors, behind the factory farming, where it is painted and it looks like it's a nice, you know, factory farm. It looks like, oh, that this is, you know, just nice. It happens easily.
Yeah.
And
it's normal. It's normal.
Are happy. Everybody's happy. Yeah. So I really think that we're doing something big, and I think, you know, we are helping a lot of people see the truth about all of this. So I want to ask you, what are your future goals? Do you have any projects lined up? I know you just recently went to the LA. What did you do? You went to like a march recently?
When the Animal Rights March?
Yeah.
No. Yeah. That was this Saturday. It was the largest march LA has. It was about like 1,200 people.
Wow.
So yeah. But as far as future I think the biggest thing that I'm focused on right now, which I have a few things, but I won't share everything, but it's about unity. It's about bringing humanity together, you know, because me going vegan and doing the animal rights also made me realize how desensitized I am to human oppression. You know, it exists, and we're also very much detached from what's happening to humans as well. You know what I mean? A life day. A life is a life. If we would just see life for life, if there's someone dying on the street and they're human, why are we not rescuing them? Why are we not getting them help, you know? So I think it's going to be, I really think that the core of, we don't have to really fight anyone. We just have to get us together, united, and share the truth with each other, you know, because if we're buying into this truth that exists right now and supporting the system that has all these rules laid out for us, if we just take control of what we believe in, it's going to disappear once we decide what we want. Like for me, example, not that many unethical companies make money off of me because I'm aware now. I've retracted where I put my money, you know, and I've realized what's important to me. So I really feel that if we come together as a species, as humanity, and just educate each other and just show each other a different way to live, I think that's really important. So on August 20th in front of City Hall, me and along with some friends, other activists, and other people of other movements are going to have kind of our first meeting outside of City Hall to talk about unity and bringing different movements together. It doesn't matter what your cause is. It's now about bringing the community together and seeing how are we going to unite as a community with a strong foundation. And then from then on, do this whole, there's a lot of people actually talking about uniting in a deeper level, deeper level, you know, and so a lot of us are talking with each other. So if anyone's interested in that kind of next level activism, is just coming together as human beings and abolishing separation, which causes a kind of injustice, then we can really shifting the world differently, you know. So
that is so beautiful. Thank you for sharing that.
And also really quick, so I'm gonna forget, and I want to say this because it's something that it's hard for me to talk about. Also, really talking about more within, telling people like there's more to us than the outside. Is the work starts within. So all of this is about us, you know, doing inner work with ourselves and accepting things that we are a part of. So, you know, showing that there's the outside world, but what really matters is what's happening within each of us individually. And that's what kind of veganism does. It kind of just wakes you up, and then you go like, oh, I can make my own decisions, you know, and then you become a stronger person. So the both aspects in the movement, I think, are very important. And
that is so, that's the beginning though.
Oh, there you go.
That is so beautiful because it's like, okay, obviously like my passion is like, you know, vegan and vegan food and animals, and that's yours. And, you know, along with other passions, you're a dancer. I do music, like, you know, we have a lot of things that we're into. And just because, you know, I'm vegan, you're vegan, doesn't just mean that like we're only trying to save like the animals. It's like, no, it's about community and the planet that we live on and the water that we drink and the air that we breathe. It's all connected. It's not just about, I love animals, so I only want to rescue animals. No, it's about the homeless people on the streets. It's all connected. It's all, you know, the money, where we're putting our money, you know, what we're watching on Instagram, on TV. It's all of that is connected to vegan and connected to just living a better life, a cleaner life, a healthier life, a more energized life, a happier life, all of the above, you know.
Yes. And you know what? And that's what we need. Like, we gotta tell people there's another way. That's it. You know, we don't have to like fight all the time. It's like, you know, the way even you lit up by saying that, because it's real. You can live a happy life. You can live a healthy life. We don't have to stress out. We don't have to live with anxiety.
Yeah.
Like, how do people deserve to know that side, you know? So I think that's what we can do as movers, and shifting the way we leave off to other generations, you know?
Yay! I have a couple of people on. What's up, Ferns? Best friend Jay, Mini Spice. Thank you guys for supporting Downtown LA Spine Doctor. I know who you are. Thank you, everybody who's been watching and supporting. This is awesome. I just have like 2 more questions. Unfortunately, this question is going to be a really harsh one as well, but you know, people need to know these things because if I don't know that much about it, you know, my sister or family or, you know, best friend might not know too much about it. So if you could just share a little bit about the factory farming life or about how animals are treated, you know, from the second they're born to the second they die, like what do they go through? Because I know you're really good at explaining these things. I remember I was watching you on this radio. I was like listening to you, and you really explained well how like sheep, like what sheeps go through for us, for humans to wear their, you know, coats.
That was horrible.
Yeah, so horrible. Just if you could just explain maybe like
I'll talk about cows. I'll talk about dairy cows in particular because there's so much dairy and so many products and people are so unaware of it. And anytime anyone sees milk, dairy, and they should just run the other direction and not touch any of that. You know, the other day I was hanging out with some friends and they were talking how beautiful it is to bear a child. Like that whole phenomenon of us creating a whole living being in our bodies and bringing life into this earth. So in the dairy industry, literally, they profit off exploiting life. So
yeah,
they start off by masturbating a bull, right? Which that in its own just, I always think like, we always like, oh, it's just a bull. But that bull too, like, you're another species. You are, they don't bite, you know, that animal alone went through something while it was being masturbated by grown fucking people, you know, and then they're killed off. So when the female cows are forcefully impregnated, they're a human. Now, so to some people this might sound normal. So I always tell people, when I'm telling you this, think about the animal. Don't think about the hand. Think about the animal. Think about the animal that's being held down there, being held against their will, which is already scary. Right? You don't know who's around you. You don't know what these humans do. Some of them eventually find out what they're going to be doing. But imagine their first time. And the babies are usually 1 year old. A female 1 year old is when their first time they get pregnant for them to produce milk. So this female cow is sitting there, standing there, and a human shoves their hand in their anus. And I tell people, think about the cow. Think about, you don't think that cow feels violated? You don't think that cow feels pain? This is not normal for them. They don't go around sticking full legs in each other's anus. You know, it just doesn't happen, you know? And so they forcefully impregnate her there. And then 9 months, she lives not in the best conditions, right? And 9 months, just like a human being, she bears her child, right? And just like us, she has developed an attachment to the baby, you know, because it is just instinct. We don't know what's happening. I mean, I've never been pregnant, but when I talk to people who are pregnant, they don't know what's happening. They're like, this feels fucking weird, but they're automatically connected to their baby. So in the dairy industry, when the baby is born, if it's a male, well, either way, as soon as the baby's born, they get taken away from their mother within one to 2 days, sometimes even hours, sometimes even like as soon as they're born, depending when the farmer sees a baby, because it's a big farm, right? This mother is suffering. This mother is aware of everything that's happening, and the horrible is that this baby who literally just entered the world, has no idea what's going on. From the moment, they don't ever experience love. They don't ever experience affection. They don't ever experience their mother. They have that natural instinct to go straight to mother and connect, and they don't ever in the dairy industry. So yes, they get killed. They get, forcefully impregnated. The mothers get in the milking machines where their nipples are bleeding and they're there for hours. All this horrible things happen to them. Yes, but what's in all of that is we're messing with people, with their families, with their culture, how they would naturally live. We're not allowing them to live natural lives. and we're taking away their children and we're killing them and selling them, you know? So when you think about dairy, you think about a child, and just think of the worst thing you can do to a family and a child, and that's what the dairy industry does, you know?
All right, I jumped back on. I couldn't hear Zafir, but I'm waiting for her to jump back on, and then I have one more question and we're done. So it's okay that happened towards the end. The whole video was amazing, so thank you everyone who's watching. Just waiting. Oh, here she is. Hey. Okay. Waiting for Zavirs. Waiting. Let's see. Hey, girl.
I'm back.
Okay, awesome.
Yay. Okay.
It's okay that happened towards the end anyways. This has been amazing, and everyone's jumping back on again, so that's awesome. But did you have anything else to say? I know you're saying some stuff, but and then after
yeah,
that,
you know, so I just, you know, when you think of I just ask people, like, just when you go buy something, just think, just even, and it's so powerful if you just do it yourself. You don't even need anyone. You just be like, oh, do I really want to do that? And you'll figure out your own answer, you know. But animals, picture anything that could be the worst thing done to an animal, and they go through it. Their skin ripped off, you know, their ears cut off. I mean, you name it. If it benefits the industry and it benefits that company, it's done to them. Name it. Honestly, I don't think that I haven't heard anything yet. I think I've heard it all. Like, nothing shocks me anymore, you know, whether the animals are boiled alive or just stupid, crazy stuff. Like, it's being done to them, you know. So if you know something comes from an animal or has something or has dairy, just kind of think about the animal for a second, and most likely you'll pick something different. Yeah. On your own, you know.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing. Yeah. You always have like really amazing, like just not amazing things to say, but like just things where someone could learn from it. And I know every time I talk to you, I'm like, oh, I didn't know that, or, you know, so you're so wise, and that's why I wanted to talk to you tonight. So thank you for everything that you're telling me right now. I really appreciate it.
Thanks. You're very kind.
Thank you. So
You're making me blush.
Well, thank you. And my cousin's on, by the way. Hey, cousin.
Hi, cousin.
Okay, so one more question. If people who are new to this, you know, they're interested in, oh, you are frozen. Oh, there you are. Okay. Who are some good influencers, people who, you know, are on Instagram, YouTube, they could follow and kind of like stay, you know, in the game, or stay inspired, or, you know, so yeah.
You know what?
Because when I first, before I even went vegan, I'm going to tell you right now who inspired me. So I'm going to answer my question first.
Go for it. Good, because you'll probably give more insight than I will.
So almost 5 years ago, I, you know, was like, hey, I want to lose weight. I was always that young girl, teenager, even young lady now, who just always wants to, you know, lose weight, have a nice body, you know, get tone, all of the above. So almost 5 years ago, I was just YouTubing a lot of, you know, different videos, looking up, you know, how to, you know, be healthy, how to make, you know, healthy food, how to lose weight, you know, energy type of smoothies. So stuff like that led to plant-based foods, which led to how animals are treated, which led to Fully Raw Christina. So whenever people ask me, like, oh, you know, who could I follow, you know, whatever, I'm just like, yo, Fully Raw Christina is really good. She has a lot of amazing videos on YouTube. I used to watch a lot of her old videos, but she's consistently posting videos on YouTube and Instagram. Fully Raw Christina with a K. She really just got me going. She really inspired me. I would watch her videos and literally like cry. She talks about how her eyes went from the color brown to blue, like being on a plant-based diet and like crazy shit. She's fully raw, so she only eats fruits, vegetables, nuts, and seeds. But she makes like cherry pie, apple pie, carrot cake. She makes like pizza, spaghetti, and it's like so inspiring. Her stories, her videos are fun to watch. There's music in the background. It's, you know, very entertaining. But yeah, so that's my go-to girl. I know there's James Aspey. There's the Earthling guy, which I met when I was with you at a vegan event. That was awesome. But yeah. who are some amazing people that people could follow?
You know,
I know people could follow you because you're amazing. So.
No. Of course, the thing is, there's so okay. You know what? Actually, now I can think of. I'm gonna shout out some LA people that you know are that I can think of that do a lot of videos. There's a guy named Ryuji. He invests a lot of time in. I think his Instagram is Peace by Vegan. He does a lot of informative videos. And he dedicates his life to that. So I think that's someone really good to follow because that's what he does. It's, you know, he runs a page, you know. I think he's really good. He works with some guy named Hudson. He's like 17 or 18-year-old Hudson, but they do a lot of videos and they do a lot of informative and they post a lot of conversations that they have with people. So that's always good to have because it's kind of good to be the third person watching two people have a conversation. But honestly, I think everyone is pretty much saying the same thing at the end of the day, you know? So I say, you know, follow as many people as you can. Actually, there's a girl named Leah, do you know her? Leah? Why are you dropping your phone?
Oops.
Leah something. She's an activist from Australia. For example, like I like her. She inspires me because she's very she's not like a fancy Instagram person, but she does a lot of work and she's just very raw. You know, she like goes into slaughterhouses. She breaks in and you know gets arrested. Yet she's very vulnerable and she shares how it's difficult to be an activist, you know, because she shows both sides. So I really like that about her. I wish I could remember her Instagram name.
Well, you're following her, right? So people could
and I post some stuff about her.
Yeah, so people could go on who you're following. Just type in Leah, and I'm sure she'll pop up.
I can type it in. And you know, and I always tell people, so go in and see who kind of catches your vibe and your energy. You know, everyone's different. But I also say, as you're doing that, like, don't leave yourself out in what you think, you know, because sometimes I feel like we go and we get all this information and we forget to think what we think, you know, your foundation and what you feel is also as powerful. So check in, and as much as you want to learn from others, learn from your intuition because you have a strong enough intuition for you to actually know all the answers and train yourself to be enlightened yourself. So, you know, but yeah, there's so many activists out there, and I'll type in a couple, but everyone who goes to vigils, everyone who does everything is spreading the truth, you know, so it's, any activist really will shift awareness in their own way.
Yeah, and there's a book, a lot of what I've been posting lately is coming from a book that I've been reading, and I get these books all the time for free. So whenever I go into this restaurant, I sit down and the books are there for free for anybody to take. It's they're all over One Veg World. I'm sure maybe you've been there, but One Veg World is expanding. There's, you know, way more restaurants. There's one in Glendora, Covina, I think, Pasadena. But so this is the book, From Crisis to Peace.
From Crisis to Peace. Oh, that's Master Ching Hai.
She is my Zen master. I love her so much. She's vegan. That's just not the whole reason why I love her, because she's vegan. But
it's a good reason. It's a good reason.
She is amazing. She talks about like karma, how like, you know, if you're vegan, like, you know, it's good karma. The energy.
Yeah, I feel it, and I think it's true. Yeah, it's karma. I mean, there's no way we can have something.
If anybody wants this book, please message me. I have tons, and I'll give it to you for free.
Oh.
But what were you saying? Yeah, continue what you were saying. I just had to say that.
You're giving away books, huh?
Yes.
No, I was just gonna say with karma, because it's something that I think about. You know, people are so busy sometimes thinking of like who's right or wrong, and the reality is that human beings are suffering in the way we are out of karma. You know, we are causing harm. The harm is rotating. It's circulating. You know, we can't believe that we're going to be killing causing so much pain to these animals by numbers that we can't even comprehend, by the trillions. Like we can't even comprehend the amount of animals we're murdering every year. Where is that? That's, you know, I do believe in that we're suffering for it. You know, we're suffering in ways that we don't even realize. So yeah, I do believe that's a cool book title. We're in a crisis and we need peace.
I love you
For
so
sure.
much. I'm so grateful that I met you. Like over a year ago.
Yes.
I'm so happy we did this. It's been
Yeah, that
over
was
an
fun.
hour.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank
It's
you.
good. It's good. It's good practice, and
Where
we
is
should be doing
Jesus?
it more often.
Where is he?
Come
I want
hi.
to say hi. Where is he?
No,
He's acting shy.
Where are you?
I'm here.
Hi,
Hello.
dear. I'm gonna
How are
interview you next. Okay, you're
No.
next.
No, thanks.
Hey, you're gonna say thanks.
And you can play
He
the
said-
guitar.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Well,
Cool.
let me know. I know you said you're doing something very soon this month, right?
On the
meeting.
20th at City Hall at 11 a.m.
Okay.
If people are interested in how do you say it? Intersectionality, you know, really coming together, different movements, and
That's
realizing that all oppression is connected. If people are really interested in being ambassadors of unity, come and be part of it. And we have a lot of things planned out. So August 20th in front of City Hall at 11 a.m.
Aw, Ed Sunshine, thank you, hun. You rock too. And yeah, we're all connected. This is amazing. Thank you so
Cool.
much.
You're welcome. Anytime.
I love you and have a
Love
beautiful
you too.
night. Thank you for inspiring all my friends. And
And
please
you too.
go follow this beautiful woman. Her name is Zafir. She has such a beautiful name. Please follow her. She's so inspiring. So that's it. Hi, Flacca.
Yay. All right, love. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Talk to you soon.
Talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye.